Beloved of the Lord, in the mighty and matchless name of Jesus, I declare that this new week shall open with uncommon favor, divine acceleration, and supernatural breakthroughs over your life. Every door assigned to remain closed against your destiny is opening now by the power of God. Are you ready to step into a week filled with victory, peace, and overflowing blessings? This is not just another Monday morning. This is your divine appointment with heaven. Today, we are aligning our hearts, minds, and spirits with the promises of God for a fresh start. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today, and what are you believing God for this week? As you listen to this prayer, every spirit of delay, confusion, and frustration is being broken in Jesus' name. The Lord is going before you, making crooked places straight and surrounding you with favor like a shield. Do you believe God can shift your entire week in one moment of prayer? This prayer is for those who are hungry for more grace, more wisdom, more strength, and more of God's presence. If you are standing in faith for a miracle, type Amen in the comments as a prophetic declaration of agreement. What area of your life needs God's touch the most right now? Get ready, because this week will not look like the last one. By the authority in the name of Jesus, I decree that blessings will locate you, opportunities will find you, and divine helpers will arise on your behalf. If you believe this prayer will bless someone else, share it with them, and let faith begin to rise. Beloved of the Lord, as this new week begins, we come before the presence of God with hearts fully surrendered and spirits ready to receive divine direction. There is something powerful about beginning a new season by laying everything at the feet of the Lord. Before you make your plans, before you answer emails, before you step into your responsibilities, it is wise to first align yourself with heaven. Have you invited God into your Monday morning yet? Too often, people rush into a new week carrying the weight of the previous one. They carry disappointment, stress, fear, and unanswered questions like heavy luggage. But today is a fresh opportunity to release every burden and trust the one who already knows the outcome of your week. What burden have you been carrying that you need to place in God's hands today? When you surrender to God, you are not giving up. You are positioning yourself for divine strategy. Surrender is an act of wisdom, not weakness. It is saying, Lord, I trust your plan more than my own understanding. Isn't it comforting to know that God sees what you cannot see? Sometimes we want control over every detail of our lives. We want to know how things will work out, when the breakthrough will come, and why certain doors have remained closed. Yet God often calls us to trust Him one step at a time. Are you willing to trust God even when you cannot trace His hand? This week does not have to begin with anxiety. It can begin with confidence because your future is not random. It is held securely in the hands of God. Every appointment, every conversation, every challenge, and every opportunity can be covered in prayer. Have you committed your schedule to God this week? Invite His presence into your home. Invite His presence into your workplace, your studies, your business, your relationships, and your private thoughts. Let God be more than a Sunday experience. Let Him become the center of your daily decisions. In what area of your life do you need God's presence the most right now? There is a difference between being busy and being productive. Many people fill their days with activity, but accomplish very little of eternal value. When God orders your steps, your energy is no longer wasted on distractions. Would you like this week to be guided by purpose instead of pressure? Surrendering your week to God means giving Him your expectations. It means releasing the need to force outcomes and allowing Him to orchestrate divine connections. Sometimes what you are praying for is already being arranged behind the scenes. Can you believe that God may already be working on your behalf? Give Him your dreams. Give Him your goals. Give Him the plans you have carefully written out. There is nothing wrong with planning, but wise planning includes divine consultation. Have you asked God to breathe on your plans before pursuing them? Many people seek success, but fewer seek significance. Success without God can leave a person exhausted, empty, and disconnected from purpose. But when God is at the center, your efforts carry eternal impact. What does true success look like to you this week? Invite God into your mindset. Ask Him to purify your thoughts from negativity, doubt, and fear. A surrendered heart also requires a surrendered mind. What thought pattern do you need God to transform this week? Sometimes the greatest battles are internal. It is not always the outside circumstances that drain us, but the hidden worries and silent fears within. Yet God is able to give peace that surpasses understanding. Have you experienced the peace of God calming your heart before? Surrender also means giving God your disappointments. Perhaps last week did not go as planned. Maybe prayers went unanswered, doors stayed shut, or challenges felt overwhelming. But a new week is proof that God is still writing your story. What lesson did you carry from last week into this one? Do not allow yesterday's pain to poison today's potential. God is a God of fresh starts, renewed mercies, and divine restoration. Every sunrise is an invitation to begin again with faith. Are you ready to embrace a fresh start? Invite Him into your conversations. Ask God to guide your words so that you speak life, wisdom, and kindness. Words have power to build or destroy, to heal or wound. What kind of atmosphere do you want your words to create this week? Invite Him into your decisions. Not every opportunity is meant for you, and not every open door is from God. Discernment protects your destiny. Have you ever pursued something that looked good but was never meant for you? A surrendered week is a protected week. When you begin in prayer, you are spiritually covering your path. You are declaring that your steps belong to the Lord. Doesn't it bring confidence knowing that God can order your day? God is not intimidated by your weakness. He is not surprised by your limitations or overwhelmed by your needs. In fact, surrender gives Him room to demonstrate His strength in your life. Where do you need God's strength the most this week? Release your finances into God's hands. Release your family into His care. Release your future into His wisdom. There is freedom in knowing you do not have to carry everything alone. What part of your life are you still trying to control without God? The presence of God changes environments. It changes atmospheres, shifts perspectives, and brings clarity where confusion once existed. One moment in His presence can realign your entire week. Have you made room for His presence today? As you begin this Monday, choose not to operate from fear or pressure. Choose to operate from faith, peace, and spiritual alignment. This week is not beginning with chaos. It is beginning with intentional surrender. What are you expecting God to do for you in the days ahead? Remember, surrender is daily. It is not a one-time decision, but a lifestyle of trust and dependence on God. Each morning is another opportunity to say, Lord, lead me. Can you make that your prayer this week? Allow God to set the tone for your Monday. Before the noise of the world competes for your attention, prioritize the voice of God. His direction is more valuable than any human strategy. Whose voice has been influencing your mindset lately? This week can unfold differently when it begins with divine alignment. Not because every challenge disappears, but because you are no longer facing life disconnected from your source. You are walking with divine awareness, spiritual confidence, and heaven's backing. Are you prepared to walk into this week knowing God goes before you? Beloved of the Lord, as we step into this new week, we boldly declare divine favor, open doors, and supernatural opportunities over every area of our lives. This is not the week to shrink back in fear or uncertainty. This is the week to walk with confidence, knowing that God is able to position you in places no human effort alone could take you. What are you expecting God to do for you this week? Divine favor is more than human approval. It is the supernatural advantage of God resting upon your life. It causes doors to open that logic cannot explain and creates opportunities that others may not understand. Have you ever experienced a moment when you knew only God could have made a way? When the favor of God is upon you, one conversation can shift your future. One meeting can unlock a new opportunity. One unexpected phone call can introduce you to the answer you have been praying for. Do you believe your life can change suddenly through God's intervention? Too many people enter a new week already expecting struggle, delay, and disappointment. They have conditioned their minds to anticipate obstacles instead of opportunities. But as people of faith, we must align our expectations with the promises of God. What kind of expectations are you carrying into this week? This week, declare that every door assigned to your purpose is opening in due season. Doors connected to your calling, growth, healing, finances, and destiny are not beyond God's reach. If He has ordained it, no person can permanently block it. Is there a specific door you have been asking God to open? At times, we become discouraged when certain doors remain closed. We interpret closed doors as rejection, failure, or delay. Yet sometimes God closes what is not aligned so He can preserve you for something greater. Can you trust that even closed doors can be acts of divine protection? Not every opportunity is meant for you, but the ones assigned to your destiny will not miss you. What belongs to you by divine assignment will locate you in the right season. You do not have to manipulate your way into what God has already prepared. Have you been trying to force something instead of trusting God's timing? Supernatural opportunities often arrive unexpectedly. They may come disguised as a simple invitation, a small beginning, or a seemingly ordinary interaction. This is why spiritual sensitivity matters. Are you paying attention to the opportunities God may already be placing around you? Sometimes we pray for increase while remaining mentally unprepared to receive it. But favor requires readiness. If God opened a major door for you this week, would your mindset be prepared to walk through it? Prepare your heart for what you have been praying about. Prepare your mind for expansion. Prepare your habits for the next level. Favor often meets preparation. What do you need to prepare for in this season? Declare over yourself that you are not overlooked, forgotten, or abandoned. Heaven knows your address. God knows your name, your need, your potential, and your appointed time. Isn't it reassuring to know that your life is under divine observation? This week, release the fear of missing out. What God has assigned to you cannot be stolen by another person. Comparison only distracts you from your own journey. Have you been comparing your progress to someone else lately? The favor of God can distinguish you in unexpected ways. It can place your name in rooms you have never entered. It can cause decision makers to remember you. It can create access beyond your qualifications. Have you ever witnessed God open a door you did not have the credentials to unlock naturally? Walk into this week with expectation, not desperation. There is a difference between chasing opportunities from fear and receiving them from faith. You do not have to beg for what God has already ordained. Can you shift your mindset from striving to trusting? Speak life over your week. Declare that opportunities aligned with your purpose are being attracted to you by divine order. Your week is not random, it is under the supervision of God. What positive declaration are you speaking over yourself today? Favor also influences relationships. The right people matter. God can connect you with mentors, helpers, partners, and encouragers who accelerate your progress. Are you open to divine connections this week? At the same time, discernment is essential. Not every connection is beneficial. Some relationships drain energy while others add value and wisdom. Have you been asking God to reveal who belongs in your next season? As you move through this week, refuse to minimize yourself. Favor requires confidence in the identity God has given you. Walk with the awareness that you are carrying purpose. Do you truly believe you were created for meaningful impact? Open your heart to possibilities greater than your current imagination. Sometimes God exceeds the limits of what we dare to ask. His plans are often larger than our comfort zones. What bold thing are you trusting God for right now? This week is an opportunity for expansion, alignment, and divine access. Enter it with faith-filled expectation, spiritual awareness, and confidence in God's ability to position you well. The doors meant for your destiny are not locked forever, and the opportunities designed for your growth are still within reach. Are you ready to recognize and receive what God is releasing over your life this week? Beloved of the Lord, as we begin this new week, we place ourselves under the covering and protection of Almighty God. There is comfort in knowing that no matter what lies ahead, you do not walk into this week unguarded or unprotected. The Lord goes before you, surrounds you, and watches over every detail of your life. Have you taken a moment to place this entire week into God's hands? In a world filled with uncertainty, negativity, and unexpected challenges, prayer becomes your first line of defense. It is not enough to simply hope for a peaceful week. You must intentionally invite divine protection over your mind, body, family, and environment. What areas of your life do you feel need God's protection the most right now? There are battles we can see, and there are battles taking place beyond our natural awareness. Some struggles are visible, while others are spiritual, emotional, or mental. This is why beginning the week with prayer is so important. Do you believe prayer can shield you from what you may never even see coming? Declare over yourself that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every negative assignment, every evil intention, and every hidden agenda working against your peace is canceled by the power of God. Isn't it reassuring to know that God is able to protect you from both seen and unseen dangers? Protection is not only about physical safety, it also includes emotional and mental peace. Many people are physically present, but emotionally exhausted, mentally drained, and spiritually overwhelmed. Have you been carrying stress or emotional heaviness into this new week? Ask God to guard your thoughts. Not every thought deserves access to your mind. Fear, anxiety, negativity, and self-doubt can quietly weaken your confidence if left unchecked. What thought pattern are you asking God to protect you from this week? Invite God's peace into your heart and mind. His peace is not dependent on external circumstances. It is an inner stability rooted in divine confidence. Even when life feels unpredictable, His peace can keep you grounded. Have you experienced moments where God gave you calm in the middle of chaos? Pray over your home. Ask the Lord to cover every room, every family member, and every atmosphere connected to your life. Let your home be a place of peace, safety, rest, and spiritual alignment. Have you intentionally prayed over your home recently? Pray over your travels and daily movements. Whether you are commuting, working, studying, or running errands, invite divine covering over your steps. God is concerned with every detail, even the ones you may consider ordinary. Have you ever paused to ask for God's protection before leaving your home? This week, reject every form of unnecessary fear. Fear can create mental prisons and distort your perception of reality. But faith reminds you that you are never facing life alone. Is there a fear you need to release into God's hands today? Sometimes the greatest threat is not external danger, but internal exhaustion. Burnout, fatigue, and emotional depletion can affect your clarity and judgment. Ask God to protect your energy and renew your strength. Have you been taking care of yourself spiritually and emotionally? Protection also means discernment. Not every opportunity, environment, or conversation is healthy for your growth. Sometimes God protects you by redirecting you away from what is harmful. Have you ever realized later that a closed door was actually protection? Ask God to protect your relationships. Guard your family from unnecessary conflict, misunderstanding, and division. Ask Him to strengthen communication, unity, and love. What relationship in your life needs prayer covering right now? Pray for protection from negative influences. Not every voice around you is aligned with your purpose. Some words plant fear, distraction, or confusion. Are you being mindful of what and who is shaping your mindset? God can also protect your future by giving you wisdom in present decisions. A single wise choice can preserve you from unnecessary hardship. This is why prayer should guide your decisions throughout the week. Are you asking God for wisdom before making important choices? Declare that your mind is protected from overwhelm. Your emotions are protected from instability. Your purpose is protected from distraction. Your progress is protected from sabotage. Doesn't it feel empowering to know you can begin your week from a place of spiritual confidence? Pray over your health and physical well-being. Ask God to strengthen your body, restore your energy, and keep you in good health. Your body is part of your stewardship. Have you included your physical well-being in your prayers this week? Protection does not mean challenges will never come. It means that even in difficult moments, you remain under divine covering and guidance. Challenges may arise, but they do not have the authority to destroy your peace or derail your purpose. Can you trust God to sustain you through whatever this week may bring? As you move through this week, walk with awareness that you are covered by grace. You are not vulnerable, abandoned, or defenseless. The hand of God is upon your life, and His presence is with you wherever you go. What would change in your mindset if you truly believed you were fully protected by God every single day? Beloved of the Lord, as we step into this new week, one of the greatest gifts you can ask from God is wisdom, clarity, and divine direction. Strength is important, favor is powerful, and opportunities are valuable. But without wisdom, even great opportunities can be mishandled. Have you asked God to guide your steps before making your plans for this week? Many people enter a new week with full calendars but unclear priorities. They are busy, active, and constantly moving, yet they are uncertain about what truly deserves their energy and attention. Business does not always equal progress. Have you ever felt exhausted from doing many things, but still felt unfulfilled? Wisdom helps you distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. Not everything demanding your attention is worthy of your focus. Some things are distractions disguised as responsibilities. What has been competing for your attention lately? Ask God for clarity in your decisions, whether it concerns your work, studies, business, family, or personal goals. Divine direction can save you from unnecessary confusion and wasted effort. Wouldn't it be comforting to know that you don't have to navigate this week relying only on your own understanding? Sometimes we make decisions based on pressure, emotion, or fear. We rush because we are afraid of missing opportunities or falling behind others. But wise decisions are not made in panic, they are made in peace. Have you been making choices from a place of pressure or from a place of peace? Clarity often begins with slowing down enough to listen. In a noisy world, many people hear everything except the voice of God. Notifications, opinions, deadlines, and expectations can drown out divine instruction. When was the last time you intentionally made room to listen to God? Invite God into your thought process this week. Ask Him to align your perspective so you can see situations accurately and make sound judgments. Sometimes the issue is not lack of opportunity, but lack of perspective. Is there an area of your life where you need clearer vision right now? Wisdom also protects you from emotional decisions. When emotions are high, discernment can become clouded. This is why spiritual maturity requires pause, reflection, and prayer before reaction. Have you ever made a quick decision you later wished you had prayed about first? Ask God for wisdom in your relationships. The people you listen to and spend time with can influence your direction more than you realize. Some relationships sharpen you, while others drain your focus and energy. Are your current relationships helping you move toward your purpose? Direction is especially important when you are standing at a crossroads. Sometimes life presents multiple good options, but not every good option is the right assignment for you. Discernment helps you identify what is aligned with your season. Are you facing a decision right now that requires clear guidance? God's wisdom can help you avoid unnecessary detours. Not every lesson needs to be learned through painful experience. Sometimes one moment of divine instruction can spare you months of frustration. Have you ever looked back and wished you had listened to your spiritual instincts sooner? Pray for wisdom in your finances this week. Ask God to guide your spending, your investments, your planning, and your stewardship. Financial peace often begins with wise decisions. Are you managing your resources with intention? Ask God to give you wisdom in your speech. Words carry influence. What you say can strengthen trust, create peace, or cause unnecessary tension. Before speaking, ask whether your words are aligned with wisdom. Have your words been reflecting patience and maturity lately? Clarity also helps you manage your time well. Time is one of your most valuable resources. Once it is spent, it cannot be recovered. This week, be intentional about where your time goes. What has been consuming your time without adding value? God's direction often comes step by step. We may want the full picture, but He frequently reveals only the next step. This teaches trust and dependence. Can you trust God even when you don't have every answer yet? Sometimes clarity comes through inner peace. Other times it comes through conviction, wise counsel, or repeated confirmation. Stay spiritually attentive. Are you paying attention to the signals God may already be giving you? Do not confuse delay with denial. Sometimes clarity takes time because timing matters. Waiting for direction is often wiser than moving prematurely. Have you been feeling impatient about something you are waiting on? This week, ask God to sharpen your discernment. Let Him help you identify distractions, recognize priorities, and move with intentionality. A focused week is often a fruitful week. What is one priority you know deserves your attention this week? Remember that wisdom is not reserved for a select few. God is willing to guide anyone who sincerely seeks Him. You do not have to enter this week confused, scattered, or uncertain. Divine direction is available to you. How differently would you move this week if you truly believed God was willing to guide every step you take? Beloved of the Lord, as we begin this new week, we boldly confront and break every spirit of delay, fear, confusion, stress, and limitation that has tried to hold us back. You were not created to live under constant pressure, uncertainty, or emotional heaviness. God has called you to move forward with purpose, confidence, and clarity. What has been trying to slow your progress lately? Delay can be frustrating. It can make you question your timing, your preparation, and even your faith. Sometimes you look around and feel as if everyone else is advancing while you remain in the same place. Have you ever felt discouraged by the pace of your own journey? But delay is not always denial. Sometimes what feels like delay is actually preparation. God may be strengthening your character, refining your mindset, or aligning the right conditions before releasing what you have been praying for. Can you trust that your current season may still be serving a greater purpose? At the same time, there are delays rooted in fear, hesitation, and self-doubt. Fear often disguises itself as caution while quietly preventing progress. It convinces you to stay comfortable, avoid risk, and postpone action. Has fear ever stopped you from pursuing something you truly wanted? This week, confront fear directly. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making mistakes, and fear of the unknown do not have authority over your future. You cannot fully embrace what lies ahead while remaining controlled by imagined outcomes. What fear do you need to release before moving forward? God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That means your mind does not have to be ruled by anxious thoughts or worst-case scenarios. You have permission to think clearly, choose wisely, and move confidently. Have anxious thoughts been stealing your peace lately? Confusion is another form of limitation. A confused mind often leads to indecision, procrastination, and emotional exhaustion. When you are constantly overthinking, second-guessing yourself, and replaying possibilities, progress becomes difficult. Have you been mentally drained by overanalyzing things lately? Ask God to bring clarity to your thoughts and stability to your emotions. Mental peace is powerful. It allows you to focus on what matters instead of becoming consumed by internal noise. What thought has been occupying too much space in your mind? Stress can also quietly sabotage your week. Many people wear stress like a badge of productivity, believing constant pressure is normal. But unmanaged stress can cloud judgment, weaken focus, and impact your physical and emotional well-being. How has stress been affecting your daily life recently? This week, refuse to normalize burnout. You are not designed to function in constant emotional overload. Ask God to help you manage your responsibilities with wisdom while protecting your peace. Have you been giving yourself permission to rest and reset? Limitation often begins as a mindset before it becomes a behavior. If you repeatedly tell yourself what you cannot do, where you cannot go, or what is not possible for you, you reinforce invisible boundaries. Are there limiting beliefs you have been carrying for too long? Sometimes limitations are inherited through past experiences. Disappointments, failures, rejection, or criticism can shape how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. But your past does not have the authority to define your future. What past experience still influences how you approach new opportunities? This week, challenge the internal narratives that no longer serve you. You are not disqualified because of previous mistakes. You are not permanently defined by old seasons. Growth requires the courage to think differently. Are you willing to release an outdated version of yourself? Breaking limitation also means taking responsibility for your own growth. Prayer is powerful, but action matters too. Ask yourself what practical step you need to take in alignment with your prayers. What have you been postponing that requires action this week? Sometimes progress is delayed because we are waiting for perfect conditions. We want certainty, guarantees, and complete confidence before we begin. But growth often starts with imperfect action. Have you been waiting too long for the right time? God can strengthen you as you move, not only before you move. Confidence often grows through action, not before it. Taking one step can create momentum for the next. What is one small step you can take this week toward your goals? Release comparison as well. Comparing your timeline to others creates unnecessary pressure and emotional distraction. Your assignment is unique, and your timing is not meant to mirror someone else's journey. Have you been measuring your progress against other people? This week is an opportunity to move differently. Move with clarity instead of confusion. Move with faith instead of fear. Move with intentionality instead of delay. What would change in your life if you approached this week with a renewed mindset? Declare over yourself that delay is broken, fear is losing influence, confusion is lifting, stress is being managed, and limitation is no longer controlling your decisions. You are entering this week with fresh perspective, stronger focus, and greater inner freedom. What area of your life are you expecting to experience the greatest breakthrough in? Expand Keynote 6 into 800 words. Don't add ending sentences. Don't give any headings. Insert a natural, friendly, and relevant questions for the audience every 203 sentences related to the talk. The question should feel like a dritator. Cindy Trimm speaking directly to the viewer in a warm, approachable, and conversational tone. Beloved of the Lord, as we enter this new week, we intentionally release blessings over every important area of our lives: our finances, health, family, purpose, and emotional peace. A new week is more than a reset on the calendar. It is an opportunity to realign your expectations with what God is able to do. What area of your life are you most believing God to bless this week? Let us begin with finances. Financial pressure can easily create anxiety, tension, and mental exhaustion. Bills, responsibilities, and future concerns often weigh heavily on the mind. Have financial concerns been occupying too much of your mental energy lately? Invite God into your financial life. Ask for wisdom in spending, discipline in managing resources, and discernment in making decisions. Blessing is not only about increase, it is also about stewardship. Are you managing what you already have with intention? Sometimes people pray for more while neglecting to manage what is currently in their hands. Financial growth often requires both faith and responsibility. Small habits can create long-term results. What financial habit could you improve this week? Pray for open doors connected to provision, opportunities, and creative solutions. God can create pathways where you currently see limitation. One opportunity, one connection, or one wise decision can create meaningful change. Do you believe your financial situation can improve in ways you have not yet imagined? Now release blessings over your health. Your body is essential to how you function, serve, work, and pursue your goals. Health is often appreciated most when it feels compromised. Have you been paying enough attention to your physical well-being? Ask God to strengthen your body, renew your energy, and help you make healthier choices. Wellness is not only about reacting to problems, it is also about intentional daily care. What is one healthier choice you can commit to this week? Bless your mind as well. Mental and emotional health are deeply connected to how you experience daily life. Emotional exhaustion can make even simple tasks feel overwhelming. Have you been feeling emotionally drained recently? Ask for emotional peace this week. Peace is not the absence of responsibility. It is the ability to remain centered while managing life well. God's peace can steady your heart, even when circumstances feel uncertain. What has been disturbing your inner peace lately? Release blessings over your family. Families can be a source of love, strength, and support, but they can also experience tension, misunderstanding, and pressure. Every family needs grace. Is there a family relationship you are particularly praying for this week? Pray for unity, patience, communication, and understanding in your home. Sometimes healing begins with softened hearts and thoughtful conversations. Small acts of kindness can shift an atmosphere. What could you do this week to contribute more peace to your family environment? Bless your relationships beyond family as well. Friendships, colleagues, mentors, and partners all influence your emotional and mental environment. Healthy relationships are valuable. Are the people around you supporting your growth? Now focus on purpose. Many people are active but disconnected from deeper meaning. They are busy, yet unsure whether their efforts align with what truly matters. Purpose brings direction to your energy. Have you been feeling aligned with your purpose lately? Ask God to bring clarity to your assignments this week, help you focus on what truly matters, and avoid unnecessary distractions. A purposeful week is often more fulfilling than a merely busy one. What is one meaningful goal you want to prioritize? Purpose is not always about grand achievements. Sometimes purpose is expressed through daily consistency, responsible choices, and quiet faithfulness. Small actions often compound into larger outcomes. Are you honoring the small responsibilities in front of you? Bless your confidence as well. Self-doubt can interfere with progress, even when opportunities are available. You can miss meaningful moments if you constantly question your own readiness. Has insecurity been affecting how you show up lately? Ask God to strengthen your confidence and remind you of your value. Confidence rooted in identity is more sustainable than confidence rooted in external validation. You do not need constant approval to move forward wisely. Where do you need greater confidence this week? Emotional peace deserves intentional attention. Without inner peace, even good things can feel difficult to enjoy. Constant worry, overthinking, and emotional tension can drain your capacity. What has been weighing most heavily on your heart? Give yourself permission to slow down mentally. Not every issue requires immediate resolution. Some things improve through patience, clarity, and time. Are you putting unnecessary pressure on yourself? This week, choose to bless your life with intentional thoughts, wise actions, and aligned priorities. Blessings are not only external events, they also include internal stability, healthy relationships, and wise stewardship. Which area of your life feels most ready for growth right now? As you move through this week, remain open to receiving good things. Sometimes people become so accustomed to stress or struggle that receiving feels unfamiliar. But you are allowed to expect progress, peace, and positive change. Can you truly allow yourself to believe this week holds something good for you? Beloved of the Lord, as we step into this new week, we boldly proclaim victory, strength, confidence, and breakthrough over every area of our lives. This is not the week to approach life with hesitation, fear, or uncertainty. This is the week to move forward with expectation, courage, and a renewed sense of purpose. What are you expecting to overcome this week? Victory begins in the mind before it is visible in circumstances. The way you think about your challenges often shapes the way you respond to them. If you approach the week already defeated in your thoughts, your energy and decisions will often reflect that mindset. Have you been entering situations expecting failure instead of possibility? Choose to align your thinking with victory. This does not mean pretending challenges do not exist. It means refusing to let obstacles define your identity, your potential, or your direction. What challenge has been trying to dominate your mindset recently? Strength is essential for navigating responsibilities, decisions, and unexpected situations. Life requires emotional strength, mental resilience, and spiritual steadiness. Strength is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it is simply the ability to remain consistent under pressure. Where do you need greater strength this week? Many people assume strength means never feeling tired, discouraged, or uncertain. But real strength often looks like continuing forward while still managing internal struggles wisely. You do not have to be emotionless to be strong. Have you been putting too much pressure on yourself to appear strong all the time? Ask God to renew your inner strength. A refreshed mind and grounded spirit can help you approach the week with clarity and endurance. Fatigue can distort perspective, but renewal restores focus. Have you been making enough room for rest and spiritual renewal? Confidence is another powerful ingredient for a successful week. Without confidence, people often minimize themselves, hesitate unnecessarily, or delay taking action. Confidence affects how you communicate, decide, and respond to opportunities. In what area do you need more confidence right now? Confidence is not arrogance. It is quiet assurance rooted in knowing your value, your preparation, and your purpose. It allows you to enter rooms, conversations, and assignments without constantly seeking permission to belong. Have you been doubting your ability to handle what is in front of you? Sometimes confidence is weakened by past disappointments. A failed attempt, rejection, criticism, or mistake can quietly influence future behavior, but one difficult experience does not disqualify you from future success. Are you allowing a past setback to shape your present expectations? This week, release the emotional weight of previous disappointments. What happened before does not have to dictate what happens next. New opportunities deserve a fresh mindset. What past experience do you need to stop carrying into this week? Breakthrough often requires persistence. Many people want immediate results, but become discouraged when progress feels slow. Yet meaningful progress is often built through repeated effort, discipline, and consistency. Have you been feeling impatient with your own progress? Do not underestimate small wins. A breakthrough is not always one dramatic moment. Sometimes it is a series of intentional steps that gradually change your situation. Progress can be quiet but still powerful. What small progress have you been overlooking? Breakthrough also requires adaptability. Sometimes the breakthrough you seek does not come through familiar methods. You may need a new strategy, perspective, or habit. Are you open to doing things differently this week? Ask God for wisdom to recognize where change is necessary. Some patterns no longer serve your growth. Holding on to ineffective habits can delay desired outcomes. What habit or routine may need adjustment? Victory is closely connected to discipline. Motivation can fluctuate, but discipline creates stability. It helps you continue moving even when emotions shift. What area of your life would benefit from stronger discipline? As you move through this week, speak life over yourself. Your words influence your focus, attitude, and behavior. Replace internal criticism with intentional encouragement and truth. What have you been saying to yourself lately? Celebrate your growth. Too often people focus only on what remains unfinished while ignoring how far they have already come. Reflection can strengthen confidence and perspective. When was the last time you acknowledged your own progress? Breakthrough can also involve emotional release. Sometimes what is blocking forward movement is unresolved frustration, resentment, or fear. Internal clutter can consume valuable energy. Is there something emotionally you need to let go of this week? Stay committed to your goals, but remain flexible in your methods. Sometimes the destination remains the same while the path requires adjustment. Rigidity can create unnecessary frustration. Are you allowing yourself enough flexibility while pursuing your goals? This week is an opportunity to move with renewed determination, not because everything is guaranteed to be easy, but because you are approaching life with stronger mindset, clearer intention, and deeper resilience. What would shift in your life if you truly believed this week could hold meaningful progress, renewed confidence, and visible breakthrough?